Hey guys, welcome back to Tack and Track. Today we are going to be modifying our helmet with some ear pro. So rather than go out and spend a whole lot of money after we've already started with night vision, and we'll be covering the night vision and the helmet in separate videos, rather than go out and spend a whole bunch of money on ear pro, what we're going to do is we're going to take a set of cheap hearing protection that we've got here, and we are going to cut and adapt this to work on our helmet here. This is standard kind of M-LOK rail style helmet. This is actually a hard head veterans helmet that we're going to be using today. We're also using their adapter kit for the 3M Peloton style hearing protection, and we're going to be using these real cheap Impact Sports headphones here, and we're going to modify those to work with our helmet. So to start this, we're actually going to have to take a set of perfectly good headphones and cut them. Now there's a few things that you need to be careful of when doing this. This wire right here on these headphones connects between the two, and you've got to be sure that you don't cut it. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to start cutting. This will be a fun experience for everybody involved here, because taking a perfectly good set of headphones here and cutting them up. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we need to do is being careful not to cut this wire right here. We actually need to remove this section of the foam padding. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a knife, cut all the way through this, and we're going to cut from one side to another. Like I said, the big thing here is be sure you don't cut that wire as you're going across. Alright, after a GoPro battery replacement, we're going to keep cutting this guy right here. We're going to cut this all the way across. Alright, now that we have this open, we need to cut the ends. And then the really tricky part is going to be cutting this right here. You want to be real careful around that wire. Now we've got that, and then we can just peel this kind of off the headphones themselves. But once again, we got to be real careful right here. We're going to cut that out. Alright, so now we have this wire exposed. So the next step is going to be actually to remove the headphones from their little bracket right here. Now, because we don't have these little pieces for the ones that came from hardhead veterans, we're actually going to have to keep these in place. Just pull all the way to the end, and they've got a little bit of a detent, and they're a little bit hard to pull off, but they'll come. And then we'll grab the other side here. Alright, so we now have our hearing protection completely removed from the band. And yes, we had to destroy this in order to pull this off. So that's unfortunate, but is what it is. It will save us money over the course here. So the next thing is going to be to install these guys into these headphones here. You're going to see they'll just kind of slide in here. A little bit of a tight fit, but they should be. All right, and then we'll just do the same thing for the other side. All right, so in order to install this, I think it's going to be significantly easier if we take this rail off. So in order to do that on this particular helmet, you need to actually remove these 3 screws. There's one right here, and one tucked up here, right here in the front by that front adjustment. This is also how you would adjust the helmet as well. One thing do remember to do is take these little guys off up here that help provide some tension on that rail. So be sure to remove these guys up here on the front of the rail. All right, so we're just going to loosen these 3. We want to be sure they don't go anywhere, and we want to be sure these guys don't spin. So what I like to do when I'm taking these out is just stick a finger on it and just simply roll them back right here. They'll come all the way out. All right, so with the rail off the helmet, we're going to take and set it aside. We're going to take a look at this rail right here. So I have gone ahead and taken this apart, but this is your multiple pieces here. So I'm going to take this little guy right here, the little M-lock retainer. I'm going to sit it right here in the rail where I want it. Then I'm going to take these 2 guys right here, set them over it to where they kind of like snap into place and fit well. Then I'm going to take the right side headphone here. I can hold all the pieces here and get it all in frame. I'm going to take the right side helmet mount, and I'm just going to take this little Allen headed screw in right here into that and tighten this down. All right, so we got both sets installed on the rails. And by the way, earlier when I was talking about these pieces falling out and having to be careful not to lose them, this is what one of them looks like when they do fall out. And I actually had 2 of these fall out. So let's go ahead and get one of these back reattached to the helmet. We're going to go ahead and do the side where they haven't all fallen out of it yet. Now, one of the things that I will point out is I really wish they would have put something around these when they punch the holes, and it really makes me nervous taking these things on and off a bunch. This is something I would want to do a whole bunch of times. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this side right here. And we're going to drop this guy in right here. Then all we're going to do is flip around to the inside, tighten these guys down. Now remember, anytime you're tightening anything, don't get one too tight before you're done tightening all the others. So we're just going to snug these up, and then we're going to go back and put a little bit of torque on them. Not a whole lot. But we're going to go back and put a little bit of torque on these after the fact. You want to be sure these are good and tight, but you don't want to stress the Kevlar here. Put a lot of pressure on it. All right, right, so with these all in here and tight, we're gonna do the other side. And I'll grab you guys once that's done. All right, so we've got our cheap hearing protection attached to our helmet. It's all put back together, ready to go. So what we're gonna do from this point in time is spend some time in this helmet with this hearing protection on. We'll see how it goes, and I'll check back with you guys and we'll kind of do a recap here. Guys, always comment down below, and if you've got any questions on this, please ask. We're always here to help. I generally respond to comments within an hour or two. So I'm out there, I'll check your comment, I'll respond back to you. And remember, we've got some more stuff coming, both with the helmet. We'll also do night vision and GoPro mount for this guy. We'll look at those and we'll get back to you and we'll talk about all of it and we'll go from there. See how we like it, see how the setup works for us. And hopefully you guys learned something today.